Good morning, students. Today we are going to take part C of chapter 3, which involves impact of government changes on business with reference to LPG policy. LPG we have already studied in 11th, so we'll take in brief that liberalization moves with more of making the trade free through your industrial policy of 1991, whereby unnecessary controls and restrictions were removed from the business. The export-import procedures were simplified in order to attract foreign capital and technology. Next is privatization, where more of disinvestment approach was taken up so that even private sectors could actively participate in development of the economy. And then is globalization, where the world coming to a small globe in terms of export import of goods, in terms of migration of people, in terms of finance through FDIs. If we take in a better form that the impact of this in India with reference to the economic reforms will take all the concepts at a smaller level. First, liberalization. As you could see, the man is being freed from all the restrictions. The economy was being freed from all the controls of the government, which was not there prior to 1991. All the licensing, fiscal, financial controls were loosened so that the economy could grow at its full boom. Then the privatization, where more industries were allowed to enter and the restriction for reserved public sectors was removed to a very large extent, and finally we restricted ourselves to 3. Now this change in the ownership pattern led to a very fast development of the economy. Next we come down to globalization. As we could see, it is integrating the entire nations over a globe through various ways and means in order to ensure that the trade investment is moved smoothly and all the barriers are being removed. With this, we'll see what ultimately this LPG policy had the impact on our business. If we pinpoint as per our CBSE curriculum, it comes to 5 to 6 over here. 7th and 8th we have taken as additional because maximum you get 6 mark questions over here. First, increasing competition, then more demanding customers, then third, rapidly changing technological environment, then necessity for change, then need for developing human resource, then sixth, market orientation from selling to marketing, then loss of budgetary support to public sector, and I'll put star mark with this point number 8 because this is not in your CBSE, export as a matter of survival, which is an extended version for necessity for change. Now we'll take one by one points. First is increasing competition. As we see that LPG had allowed more entrants, that means both existing were there and new multinationals also came due to global operation. This led to more number of operators and the competition became tougher. Of course, for this competition purpose, we had given Act also to regulate it. And the best example we can say is in competition, banking sector has faced a lot of competition with private banks coming up. Same is with the insurance sector. Now, this only gets to the second point, that with more number of operators and increased competition, now have a positive hand over the market. They become demanding. The customers, they are demanding because they have more options to switch over. The companies are coming with new schemes. So a buyer's market is literally being created. With this demanding customers, we find that the companies are being pressurized to go for technological development. And here to the next point, rapidly changing technological environment. Now, our technology is supposed to be good if and only if it is going for a better quality of product at lower price with help of research and development department. In most of the industrial sectors, we find that R&D sector is continuously working and the output of it is being shared by all the companies of that industry. For example, we say automobile industry has gone for a tremendous change in the technology to the extent we find in certain cases, they don't even give you the time to absorb the basic cost. The people or the organization is compelled to go for adopting the new technology and the previous one becomes obsolete. I find that this technological environment goes with a necessity for change, survival of the fittest. So all the turbulent market forces, they compel you to change to face the competition. In the competitive world, if you are not going to change, you will lose your customers. Next, down to human resource, which is the biggest asset for any organization. It is the biggest asset for any organization. If we keep all the other infrastructural facilities or resources constant, the one with a better human resource bank would excel. Now here what happens, organizations, they keep on training their manpower both on hard skill and soft skill. And this would lead to obviously a higher or an increased compensation level to the employees also, but it is being counterbalanced with the output, with the quality of the output that you are giving and the revenue that you are generating. Then we come down to market orientation. Now orientation means what? We are making a move towards something according to the demand, according to the existing market factors. We find that under this LPG policy, there was a total shift from selling concept to marketing concept, whereby selling concept was simply putting the things in the market and forcing it for disposal. Whereas in market, you have to go for marketing concept. You have to go for a thorough research of the market first. You analyze the market, identify customers' need, and then you accordingly produce what you can sell. What we see, a comprehensive view of the two, that what I want, the company is producing for me, and you go for that. Next is loss of budgetary support to public sector. Obviously, all those public sectors who were enjoying the financial leverage due to government, they got a setback because through disinvestment, the government started withdrawing its fund and the organizations were compelled to go for being efficient for survival. There was temporary fund crunch, but with a better performance, it was easily taken care of. Now, with this, what happens if we see, we can that overall the economic policy had the positive impact on business and industry. Even though temporary, it had sounded to be a bit harsh when people started withdrawing their money. But now in the next session, we'll be taking up how the managers, they started responded to this. We give an end to this particular slide. Thank you very much for being with me in this section. इतना हो गया फिर भी नहीं बंद हो रहा है.